You, child. Come here. Do not worry. I cannot hurt you now. I'd like to speak with you. I'd like to tell you a story about hubris, about a man who offered too much, and about the grim consequences of his actions.
Hey everybody, Joseph Rothschild here, aka MBT, and Low Gentle Hubris. For those of you unfamiliar with the Yu-Gi-Oh Cwarantine Series, it's a semi-regular tournament I set up and commentate in real time, with both product prizing and the greatest award imaginable, a chance to pick the next 10-minute testing. Unfortunately, it turns out you have to be extremely careful with that power. Today, at the behest of Sampai, the second tournament's victor, I present to you this. So here's the list, and are you happy? Is this what you wanted to see? You're lucky I don't have any self-respect, or I might have refused to do this. I'm going to give an approximation of the thought processes behind the deck, an overview of what I hope the deck will do, and, regrettably, the card by card. But first, this video was brought to you by Yu-Gi-Oh Pro Deck. Alan, I'm so sorry you're being associated with this. If you've got a deck that looks remotely like this and desperately needs advice, try uploading it to Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro Deck's deck repository, where people from all over the world can explain to you why running the 7th one isn't all it's cracked up to be. You can also check out their plethora of strategy articles and hopefully win the next Quarantine series, so I never have to do anything like this ever again. Now let's do our best. So clearly the core philosophy of this deck is that the CYBERDARKs are rad as hell. Now I can't exactly disagree with that, but radness and playability don't tend to correlate. The two CYBERDARK monsters worth playing, Cannon and Claw, Sampai at the very least had the decency to play at 3, adding 2 apiece of Horn, Edge, and Keel. After that is 3 of a card that has been historically powerful in Duel Links and historically garbage in the TCG, Desperado Barrel Dragon. Now this card can be special summoned when a dark machine is destroyed, and in lieu of attacking, can flip 3 coins and destroy an equal number of face-up monsters on the field, drawing a card if you get 3 heads. Mechlord Emperor Weissel operates similarly and negates spells. Since we're already on some dark machine searchers, we're playing a Cyberstein as well, and since we're on Cannon, we're on a card to send for that, a Pero. Finally, in a package of cards I assume is in the deck to offend me personally, we're on 2 Magician's Souls, a Dark Magician, a Dark Sage, and a Time Wizard with which to search it. Maybe next Turbo Tuesday. For spells, we're on 2 fusions, both searchable through different Claw effects. Claw's first effect for CYBERDARK Impact, and second effect for Rafflesia into Overload Fusion. After that, we're on some 2-ofs and fun-ofs. We've got 2 Foolish, 2 Duality, 2 Inferno, the only defensible one, Pacifist for obvious reasons, Spell Chronicle to make me think of Witchcrafter, and 1 Rank Up Magic, the 7th one, which does feature in some Claw setups we are unfortunately not playing the extra deck monsters for. Finally, for traps, we're on Crescendo, 2 Waking the Dragon since we're already on Stein monsters, 2 Lost Wind, 2 Summon Limit, and 2 Solemn. These are cards we want to see some of the time, but not all the time. The extra is a disaster as well. We've got 5 God, Exterio, the CYBERDARKs, Rafflesia, Last Warrior, 3 Ntis for Claw, C and non-C 107, Giant Ogre, Ambro Whale, Decode Talker, and Link Haribo. The side deck used to say Heroine with the hero and final cards, but I had to make some substitutions given Edo Pro's art localization. I hope you find what I did monetizable. So with that, let's jump into the games. Our first match is up against Alpha Cretin, one of the individuals behind the development of Edo Pro. They said that if we beat them in this game, then Generation Duels will become the official Edo Pro online format. I'm pretty excited to bring home the bacon, and their deck abuses Goyo Defender. A quick reminder, chat, Master Rule 5 was a mistake. We're going to go Resonator into Magician's Souls, and then a Goyo Defender into a Goyo Defender into a Goyo Defender, followed by a Miracle Synchro Fusion into a Goyo Emperor. Well, this should be simple to out for one as lucky as I. We'll activate Pot of Duality, and then, I believe in my friends Alpha Cretin, do you? We'll flip heads, and what do you know, we get a board wipe out of it. Let's get directly in for 500 and pass it back to our opponent, that Time Wizard staring menacingly. They're going to normal summon a copy of Red Resonator. We will Solemn, and we should be able to clean it up here, provided we can make Lightning strike twice. We'll activate Time Wizard again, and it fails, allowing us to summon a Desperado Barrel Dragon from our hand and attack directly for 28. These are lines only masters of luck can conceive of. Our opponent draws an Apprentice Illusion. They're going to use Deep Sea Diva's effect for Inept Abyss, and hilariously, basically end their turn there. They're going to go into a Berserker of the Tenyi. We'll flip 3 tails in a row. Are you kidding me? Well, I suppose we deserve it after that RNG that we mastered earlier. We'll set a pair of Cerberus and pass it back to our opponent, who will special an Apprentice Illusion Magician, attack over the Pero and directly for 3k, after which we will banish the Pero to destroy the Berserker. As long as we can out this Apprentice Illusion, we should be fine, but that's easier said than done with this deck. We'll send a Spell Chronicle with Foolish Burial Goods so we don't draw it later. Our opponent's going to set a card. We'll Lost Wind this monster to buy us 2 additional turns, and then for turn we'll draw the out! Okay, we'll activate CyberDark Claw to get a copy of Inferno. We'll activate Inferno, then normal summon a copy of Horn. Horn is going to be huge. We'll go to Battle Phase Attack, and we'll Claw in Damage Step, sending an Intis and destroying that back to the front before our opponent can activate it. For turn they draw... No way. No way, that is so lucky. We'll attack and they'll flip up Fateful Hour, bringing back Goyo Emperor, which of course we can still destroy with an Intis. No replay because it's in the damage step, but at the very least we've dispatched the threat. They draw a Magician's Souls, and unfortunately for them, our monster has Piercing. We'll go ahead and attack and use Claw in order to send Chimera Rafflesia so that we can get a fusion in the next standby phase. I'll go for an Overload, though we don't have the necessary targets. They'll normal summon a Deep Sea Diva to bring out her friend, and then pass it back to us. Shockingly, we have walked away with the first of our games. Well, as we move into the EXO bracket, let's tune up the difficulty of our opponents just a little bit. Our second match is up against Burning Abyss, currently the second best shell for Block Dragon. Unfortunately for the Cyberstein in our opener, our opponent is going first. They're going to lead with a Sneck, followed by a normal summon to Sangan, which will turn into a Link summon to Cherubini, triggering the Sangan for Gallus. They'll instant fusion to get a copy of Fusionist, before activating Cherubini to send an Edge of Sabers to the graveyard, which they will use to overlay for Dante. They'll activate Dante for 3, activate Ancient Cloak, set a copy of Rum, and pass it back to us. Alright, well, we're going to lead with a copy of Magician's Souls, and I don't respect this card, so into the graveyard it goes. Next, we'll Foolish Burial Goods away a copy of Orchestrated Climax. We'll go ahead and activate its effect after our Cyberstein eats a Fogblade, and we should be able to pop off very slightly here. Our opponent will Scorpio for a copy of Darlingtonia Cobra, going into Breaksword, activating Breaksword's effect to destroy our Cyberstein, triggering the Weissel in our opener. They're going to bring back Breaksword, we're going to bring out Weissel, they're going to activate Rum, and I'm going to remind them that Weissel has text on it! They'll activate Dante's effect and use Graph to get Skarm, which will go to the graveyard. Next, they'll switch their monsters to attack position and overlay for... Utopic Future might be a problem. This monster takes monsters for the battle phase only, kind of like Borreload. It does return them, and it protects itself like Dingirsu. After they shuffle our Weissel with this copy of Nightmare Unicorn, things are looking just a little bit dire. Waking the Dragon isn't helpful. We're going to normal summon an Edge and attack into the Unicorn so we can get this copy of Desperado to our side of the field, and 3 heads! You don't get this lucky by accident, ladies and gentlemen! We draw into a copy of Summon Limit, fantastic, and pass it back to our opponent. They bring back Breaksword and normal summon a Tour Guide. We'll activate Summon Limit, and no Tour Guide effect for you. Battle phase once again, and another 3 heads! Oh, my word. Now, Naked, that Utopic Future is not going to be able to protect itself next turn. It can take our Desperado, but can't attack because it's activated its effect. We'll use Claw, and then we'll use Cannon. Afterwards, going to activate Inferno and normal summon a copy of Edge, equipping it with the Claw, attacking directly, and using Claw to send Tis to the graveyard, removing our opponent's last monster and getting in for 28. Things are looking quite good. They draw Boots off the top. They'll normal Boots. Special Tracker, reveal that that is 2 summons, and we can get in for lethal by attacking directly with our copy of Edge and into Boots with Desperado. 2-0, baby! So it's time for game 3, and hell, I'm feeling invincible. Let's take on Salamangreat. Alright, we're going first, and this is going to require an intense concentration. We can't just send Magician's Souls to the graveyard. We'll special summon it and then activate its effect. Fine, playing nice. Activating Foolish Burial Goods to send a Climax to the graveyard, normal summoning an Edge, equipping it with a cannon, and passing it back to our opponent. It's not a fantastic setup, but it's something. They're going to lead with a copy of Silent Mining, then activate Flame Buffalo and Balinks. They've already got the Gazelle in hand, which is frustrating. They're going to discard said Gazelle and then will it back, activating the effective Gazelle to send a copy of Jaguar. They're going to go into Salamangreat Sunlight Wolf, bringing Jaguar back at link point, so the Gazelle goes back to the hand, triggering the effective Linkaribo and passing it back to us. Okay, no traps is good. We're going to activate the climax and graveyard just to eat an ash. That's frustrating. Okay, we might be able to do something. We're going to normal summon a Keel and go to battle phase. We'll attack into our opponent's copy of Salamangreat Wolf, then activate Barrel Dragon's effect. 3 tails! Are you kidding me? Well, at the very least, we get a chance to send Cerberus to the graveyard, which is something, at the very least. They're going to normal summon a Foxy, finding out the top. Ugh, another Foxy. Well, not terrible for us. They're then going to go into a Sunlight Wolf, trigger the effect of Gazelle, sending a copy of Rage, and then bringing back Jack Jaguar, using Sunlight Wolf's effect, activating Sanctuary, link summoning a Balinx, going to Heat Leo to shuffle our copy of Uh-Oh Cannon, before going into a second Heat Leo, putting our Desperado at 500. Afterwards, we're going to special summon 2 Jack Jaguars and a Foxy from the graveyard to go into Update Jammer and Transcode Talker, bringing back Update Jammer in the process. In battle phase, they will ash our Desperado, then activate Update Jammer, putting it back at 25, losing the transcode, and shame AFKing. I have transcended the metagame. I have transcended the 10-minute testing format. There's only one foe left for me to conquer. Luck itself. Our 4th round opponent, Stevie Blunder, is playing a deck of chance. Fool! Our hand has Pacifist the Phantasm City. You cannot hope to win. They'll activate second coin toss and Dark Sanctuary, passing it back to us. For turn, we draw another card we're going to set. That's 4 of them. It's Pacifist time. Our opponent's going to normal summon a Gambler of Legend. Some clock you've got me under, weakling. For turn, we draw a copy of Summon Limit, an actually good card. We're going to normal summon a copy of Claw. Sanctuary will trigger, and we'll take 800 in the process. My flipping skills need work. Our opponent will tribute summon a Desperado Barrel Dragon. We will Solemn Warning. They'll trigger Barrel Dragon and uh-oh, did you activate an effect on my watch? We're going to search for a Pacifist the Phantasm City card, only to realize we're not playing any. Well, no worries. Our opponent flips incorrectly twice on Cup of Ace, and our hand is refilled. We'll activate Duality. Ooh, a Magician's Souls is just the thing. For the graveyard! We'll normal summon a copy of CyberDark Edge, equipping a cannon to it. They'll Dark Sanctuary and second coin toss it to heads. Shoot, we're still getting in. Tails, and another tails as well. The life points are dwindling. Despite second coin toss, we are soon to be in the lead. Gambler of Legend happens. We second coin toss. And it's still not enough. You fool! You are meddling with forces you cannot fathom! Pero triggers heads. Dark Sanctuary triggers once again. It fails to tails, and the reflip fails as well. We'll send a Desperado, triggering its effect and dealing 19. We attack again. It's a failure. 500 life points is all that stands between me and my ultimate destiny. For turn, we draw an Overload Fusion. I'll link summon a Decode Talker and normal summon a Keel. Our opponent will respond with a Head Judging. We'll equip the cannon and attack directly. Another poor flip. I am infinite. No human, no deck conceived by mortal minds can stop me. No, it cannot be. It is the mirror. Our opponent is going first, and they've drawn just as perfectly as us. They'll activate cannon, activate souls, and no, Soul's effect followed by Cyberstein for Last Warrior. Well, I will accept my fate. The only way I know how. By activating the effect of Spell Chronicle. So we're back with the deck, and that was fun. That was a blast. Sometimes playing absolute garbage like this awakens something in me. I mean, the raging fire of poor deck building that leads to absolutely unreal sacks against much better prepared opponents. It isn't something you can bottle. It's something you arrive at when you play a list that's unironically on Dark Sage. I don't know. Let's do the pros and cons, I guess. First to the pros. 1, there are, shockingly enough, some halfway competent ideas in here. I mean, the Dark Machine toolbox enabled by Orchestra Crescendo, the extra deck doing double duty as Stein and Waking targets. I mean, yeah, there's Spell Chronicle also, but that stuff's cool. 2, Desperado Barrel Dragon is an extremely powerful and extremely underutilized card. I know some people braver than I have tried him in Orchest, and honestly, this deck makes me want to do that. And 3, the one floodgate summon limit does a great job of slowing the game down enough that the CYBERDARKs are relevant. And the cons. Yeah, can't think of any. Deck's perfect. 10-10, would draw Darksage again. So that's that. The next person who wins one of these, please have mercy. Thanks to my patrons, MeatMoto27, Tyler Slacks, Mika Reichman, Crispy, Sir Tachyon, Lucas Hansen, Schnappen, Lavender Lemonade, Gusto Secon, Siberian Rabbit, Michael Oskvark, Dan the Man Hoban, Blab Lake Root, Standards Objective, Jeff Leonard, Emperor Stove, TJ Steakhouse, Pro Yugi Dad, Picnic Blasted, Breedoman 93, Fighting Fangwong, Donnie Fillerup, Adam Sunquist, Isaac Jackson, Second Lucas Geardis, Adam Trevino, Adrian Broad, Distrin, and others. If you like my videos, please consider subscribing. And if you want to be part of the process, consider following me on Twitch as well. See you next time.